680 Richard Southern joins us. Richard, it is budget day at Queen's Park. We've already looked at some of the big takeaways there, but you're actually taking a closer look at what's in it for business and investors.
Yeah, a lot of business-related tidbits in it, Francis, and I have some of them, but I want to get right to the lockup. My colleague, senior business editor Mike Apple, in the budget lockup at Queen's Park. Mike, what was in the budget?
Richard, there aren't a lot of surprises in the budget document for the Wynne Liberals and Finance Minister Charles Sousa. They were all pretty much pre-announced, whether it is the new child care initiatives or expanded pharmacare or dental care for that matter. It's about the cost, $20 billion in new spending over 3 years. And that is going to lead the province back into deficit spending for a projected 6 years going forward, and adding over that time frame upwards of $30 to maybe even $35 billion, and taking the debt from right now around $310 billion, ballooning it to about $350 billion plus by the year 2024-25. So the big question is, will the credit rating agencies go along with this? Will they hit Ontario with a credit rating downgrade and raise our borrowing costs by doing so? Finance Minister Charles Sousa says he's not too concerned about that, in as much as the debt to GDP ratio is actually coming down a little bit. That's a key metric that the market looks at. The bond sales have actually been pretty strong for any deficit financing. So it's going to be interesting to see how voters take this, obviously, and the credit markets when we're going back into a deficit scenario 1 year after having balanced books. Reporting from the budget lockup at Queen's Park, I'm Mike Apple. Richard, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Certainly the debt issue top of mind. Province spending $12.5 billion just to service the debt last year. Francis, some other tidbits here. The Sears-related effect. Province moving to further secure pensions in the case of corporate failure. Remember, a lot of Sears pensioners were left out in the cold amid the bankruptcy of that retailer. Marijuana, government thinks it'll make $215 million a year in taxes by the year 2021. Of course, the federal government taking a cut. And transit, a proposed fare reduction of $3 a trip for GO Transit under 10 kilometers, as well. Cigarettes going up $4 a carton.
$4.
Yes.
So reaction to a story you brought us yesterday has been overwhelming. It was the Tim Hortons, the planned renovation, $700 million. People aren't happy, though.
No, they're not. I got hundreds of responses to that story about the renovation. The first tweet, DJ says, spend that back on your employees and treat them well, and we will come back to you. Amy says, how about they use that money to support the staff who were punished by the franchisees when the minimum wage went up? Mac Berry Francis says, try good donuts made right in the store. It worked for 30-plus years. You know, Tim Hortons, they use kind of a frozen donut approach now. Sarah says it'll take more than just $700 million in renovations to turn this chain around. The Brazilian equity company will have to ease back on the slicing and dicing for all aspects of the business. Franchisees have to get back to the basics, best-in-class service and overall experience. And finally, Cam says, stop burning my bagels with that $700 million. We heard from some of the franchise owners today, Francis, about this proposed renovation. It's going to cost them on average a couple of $100,000 per store. They're not happy about it. And in its latest quarter, there were soft sales for Tim Hortons, so that reno not going over so good.
Not good. Another troublesome earnings report, this time from Hudsons Bay. Richard, stocks in Canada's oldest retailer has sunk to a new low.
Hit a record low today, but just before the close, HBC stock actually turning higher. It was up just over 1%. But yes, a quarterly profit miss by Canada's oldest retailer as HBC continued to struggle with falling sales at its European operations and at its discount operations. It's now looking to further shake up the business. We heard from the new CEO today, Helena Folks, saying, quote, we're looking at every part of the business to improve performance, and everything is on the table. So some taking that to mean, Francis, possibly more layoffs at HBC. They're looking to save $350 million a year. They're facing the same trouble all the other big box retailers are these days.
So Donald Trump is apparently obsessed with Amazon. I don't think he's buying things, but he's blaming the company for the decline of brick-and-mortar retailers. And is he ready to take action?
According to a report by the political site Axios, he is. Trump, again, blaming them for the demise of regular retail, is considering targeting Amazon's tax status or perhaps an antitrust action, maybe breaking them up. Trump apparently believes Amazon is a negative force for smaller, locally owned retailers, and he wants to find a way to curtail the company's dominance in online shopping. Sarah Sanders, White House spokesperson, says there's nothing imminent, but Amazon stock was down 4.3%, just adding to the worry that we're going to see more legislation to control technology companies like Amazon or like Facebook. Francis.
Heineken, you talked to us about this before the break. So they've actually pulled a beer commercial after Chance the Rapper called it terribly racist.
He did. I want to show it to you. Here it is. So, yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, an ad for light beer, a bottle passes several African-American people, lands in front of a lighter-skinned person. So, yeah, not surprisingly, Chance the Rapper making note of this, and Heineken pulling the ad, releasing a statement reading, quote, "We missed the mark. We're taking the feedback to heart, and we will use this to influence future campaigns." You know, in this day and age of social media, these sort of issues can hurt a company quickly, Francis.
A Quebec teen who bought a lottery ticket on her 18th birthday got quite the surprise.
This is an interesting story. Her name is Charlie Lagarde, you know, the legal age to gamble, 18 in Quebec. So she celebrated her 18th birthday by buying a scratch-off ticket and a bottle of champagne. I like that move, Francis. So she gets home, she scratches her Cash for Life ticket, she wins $1,000 per week for life.
For her.
But as lottery corporations are wont to do, they offer Charlie a choice. Take the annuity of $1,000 a week for life, or take the lump sum of $1 million. And you know, for a lot of people, financial advisors say take the lump sum and take advantage of the compound interest. But for her, they said no. Take the $1,000 a week for life. She's going to, and she'll make about $4 million if she lives to the age of 81. For her $4 scratch off, not too bad. But you know, in this low interest rate environment, it's hard to make an income like that. So not a bad idea to have 52 G's in the bank every year for doing nothing.
Yeah, the $1,000. I think I would take the $1,000. I don't think I would do the lump sum.
I'd take the lump sum and blow it on something stupid, probably.
Maybe you're much older than me. I don't know, but I feel young enough. There's a new way to track somebody's diet, not ours, obviously, but it comes through a tiny sensor mounted to your teeth.
Yeah, there it is. Scientists at Tufts University have developed this. It's like a Fitbit for your mouth. So it tracks everything you eat, sends the information to your smartphone, can monitor glucose, salt intake, even alcohol intake. But they say this could have real good applications for those perhaps with an eating disorder, those trying to monitor their diet a little more closely. What do you think the sensor would have said to us yesterday as we were scarfing down double downs on the air?
Like I said, it would have said, give me some fruit.
Yeah, it would have blown up, started smoking or something.
No kidding. All right. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.